Welcome back to the SPN show. I'm here with Suneet Agarwal, Mr. Billion Dollar Sales, Preston Guyton, Mr. Carolina, taking over multi-state expansions. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Good,
How are
Nick.
you?
How about you?
Yeah, and I'm Nick McLean, Mr.
Yeah.
Small town major market share. I'm really excited. Self-promote.
Self-promote.
We've been getting a lot of great feedback. You guys, we've been getting a lot of great feedback, so we decided to do episode number 5. Today, we're going to be talking about lead conversion, and Preston's a little worried that that's a 4-hour episode, so we're going to go top funnel lead conversion. Best practices, initial attack, conversion from the get-go, and, biggest mistakes, best takeaways. But what do you guys think? I want people to know a little bit more about you guys, and about myself. What businesses do you currently own? What businesses have you owned, and what businesses are you currently working on?
Well, I think if we want people to know about us, I want to ask you a question first. Tell us about the bike ride yesterday. Real quick.
So I race mountain bikes.
Nick races mountain bikes like all the time. Listeners and viewers, like this dude's gnarly on his mountain bike. So Nick, go ahead.
I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and I do single track mountain bike racing in my 40s, which is crazy. And the people that do this sport they're crazy just like me. And it's just full gas. You're at your limit for about an hour. Yesterday's race was 24 miles. You're at your threshold, which you're at your max heart rate for about an hour and 36 minutes. It took me an hour and 36 minutes to do it. I crashed twice. Luckily, I wasn't injured. I did a full flip, landed in some rocks, broke my bike. It was crazy. I got the scars to show it, but that's how it went yesterday. I got another race coming up Saturday, so I'm really excited about that.
Did you take some Tylenol this morning? Is my question.
No, but I worked out.
Okay, that's big.
Yeah. So Preston, let's give a real synopsis. Suneet, you have a real estate team. Tell us about that. Tell us about other ventures you've got into. You were a mortgage before.
So I have a real estate team, a real estate brokerage, property management company, a mortgage company in California. I'm not self-promoting, but give me a call. We got a tech company, another tech company, another project.
A big project.
We're not talking about a big project.
Top secret project.
It has no name.
We're working on
Is coaching a business? Is coaching
absolutely
products a business?
Absolutely. Coaching and products. If you can't see it, Suneet's holding up 8 fingers at this point.
There's that. I have the partnership with I guess that's more of an affiliate. So we're just going to call it 8, where I'm on the corporate docs. Oh, no, basketball team, 9.
You got a basketball team. Preston. And this isn't a competition of who can own the most businesses, but
it's not. Hey, just because I'm on the board and I have investment, that's what I'm counting.
But there's also this not just tunnel vision, but funnel vision. Because you're in so many different ancillary businesses, you understand business at a higher level, which you can takeaways for each. Preston, what about your past, present, future?
Yeah, so I sold out of a real estate construction and design company that I started in 2010. I sold out of that in 2020, just because I got sick of the construction side of it, just with the changes in code and permitting and everything else. It just became not fun to me anymore. But during that process, we built a couple hundred houses. We mainly focused on oceanfront vacation rentals, oceanfront homes as well, second homes. Got out of that in 2020. We brought Revolution Mortgage to our market, and then I got out of that in 2021 because I'm just not a huge fan of the mortgage industry. We were the number 1 branch in the country in 2021, but it just wasn't.
You grew it to number 1 in a year.
Year and a half, yeah. So 2019, I started Easy Home Search, was originally was built to generate mortgage leads, because the mortgage industry is hard to generate leads. You can't dangle somebody, hey, sign up to get a rate, or could you get rate quotes anywhere? Like there's nothing you could really say. I mean, it's hard, that call to action to generate that lead. You're not going to get people to sign up for a list. Hey, sign up for a list to get rates. I mean,
that like we talked about episode 3 marketing.
Yeah, so so I have an Easy Home Search, which is a real estate referral company in North and South Carolina. It's about to be all over Southeast. New site coming out in May. I have Palms Realty, which we opened September 2021. I just signed franchise documents on an insurance company last week, and then Cheplack Digital with John Cheplack, where we build AdWords campaigns for teams across the country. We partnered with Sierra Interactive and built a website template. And then we just launched a ISA conversion coaching class as well.
Yeah, well, people, I was kind of
the no name,
and then the no name project that's going to be bigger than all of it combined. Now, I was marveling at you two, so I wanted to acknowledge you for that. That was inspiring this question because, Suneet, Preston, you guys have a long history of business entrepreneurship, but really your teams, Suneet, what your team's 6 to 8 years old, 6 years old? What is it?
I've been a realtor now for 9 years, so 6 or 7 years it must be.
7 years, becomes #1 in California. Preston, you opened Palms Realty, what 3 years ago?
September 2020, 19 months.
19 months ago, and you just passed 100 agents.
Yes.
100 agents. So that's absolutely incredible. I'm in a small marketplace of 100,000 people. So, I grew to 20% market share. It took me about 6 years to do that. And then we just kind of sustained that amount. I own a real estate team. I'm an independent broker firm. So I'm the firm owner. I think, Preston, you're the firm owner. I have a property management company like Suneet. I love the property management side. I use that to host my investment portfolio. So I consider my investment portfolio another business, and I run it like a business, 100%.
Yeah.
That's EN Investments LLC. And we're going to do an episode, and you guys can grill me on rentals and investments. Yes. I have a pest company. So I opened a pest home service company. I do coaching and consulting and build out courses with you guys. And then we got the no name big project, top secret, can't talk about it, which is going to be incredible. We're going to look at episode 50, where we're going to be talking about our giant project. And we're going to look back at this moment going, we didn't even have a name. So I think people are really interested in marketing. They're really interested in leads. And then you get all these leads, right? You get really good at leads, or you get really good at marketing. You get really good at lead generating. And now you got a lead problem, because now you got to convert those leads into sales. And I don't care what business you're in the lead conversion sales business at some point, whether it's pest, property management, Easy Home 100%. Search. There's
recruiting,
leads,
growing a brokerage.
recruiting. It's a sales process always. And so let's talk top funnel. What's your guys' core philosophies? I mean, how do you guys approach that? How do you look at it? How do you, and you could take whatever question you want. How do you define a lead?
Top of funnel is like awareness, right?
Right. Just tell me more.
Top of funnel is when they're aware that you guys exist for their issue, right? Maybe they're not are part of their challenge for their need. Maybe they're not there yet, but true top of funnel, when someone's driven by your billboard, Nick, 10 times, and now they're finally thinking about moving, then that's like a real lead, right? And then as soon as they is a lead truly an opt-in, or is a lead truly a number on a list? Preston, if somebody's been going to Easy Home Search 10 times and read a bunch of blogs but hasn't entered their information in yet, is that a lead yet? Because to me, I think that's maybe where it really starts. No, you say that they have to give you something. I
don't think it's a lead yet. No, I don't.
So define a lead for me, Preston, because I think I don't think anyone's ever defined what a lead is. We've allowed Zillow and everyone else to tell us what one is.
Yeah.
So what's a lead to you?
you know, for me is when they do opt in, when they do put in their information, right? Because there's no, to me, when I look at it, and I always tell people, like, when you look at lead gen, always, for me, I'd look at a backwards approach. Like when we opened Palms Realty, I already had the conversion side built out, already had that part built out, because what I didn't want to do is generate a bunch of leads and then we have a lead problem because we don't have a system set up to convert. So, you know, I tell people, when you look at lead gen, take a backward approach and focus on conversion. What you're going to do with that lead once you have them in the door. And for us, it starts happening. I think I shared this before. Like once we have that name, that's when really the heat we start to put on it. That's when we start to put the pressure on it, of the activities that we see. Because until we have that information, yeah, we have an IP address.
Can't do shit.
But you can't do anything. You know, we can
well,
reach.
Only thing that's just advertising.
Yeah,
that's
we can
advertising at that point.
Right? Yeah, we're retargeting and everything else, but you can't do anything with that. Like you're just retargeting and hoping they click on something at that point. But really, like, to me, is when they opt in, that we get a name, phone number, email address.
So it's not necessarily name, email, phone, that's how we can contact them. It's that they, and correct me if I'm wrong, push back. They opt in, they reach out. They've said, I raise my hand, whether that's by
interested in what you have.
Now there's kind of forcing them. There's forcing them to register because you have a paywall or a pop-up or a modal that comes up on your website, right?
Seems like people are getting away from that though for a lot of stuff, isn't it, Preston?
No.
It depends on your traffic. It depends on your traffic.
It doesn't make sense. Well, the way we do it, so there's, if you do it on the organic route, like if every time somebody went to look at photos, you force registration, then you're looking at Google SEO issues with Google, right? Because you're locking down the page and not being able to do anything about it. So, you know, when they're looking through the site and spidering through the site, they see that. When they're indexing through the site, they see that pop up. So like for us, to me, it makes zero sense to spend money on pay-per-click and not force somebody to register. Because if I was spending money on pay-per-click, right, and there was no forced registration, it was just suggested, I'll probably get maybe 5% of the amount of leads I would get if I was forcing. And people are like, well, forcing, you don't get legit information. That's BS. I'll pull it up and show you. There's about 75 to 80% of the phone numbers that they're put in are legit phone numbers.
Yeah. And then we can talk about tactics on that. I want to tell you guys a story on that. And Preston, you probably have a story too. Back, years ago, the number one organic website in my marketplace was Wenatchee RE. It wasn't Wenatchee Real Estate. It was Wenatchee RE. This guy had really good SEO. And it was during the recession, he became a professional photographer because his sales went down so far. He just started taking photos for people. So I reached out to him and I said, hey, bud, you still have this domain name. Can I buy your website? He's like, buy a website? Like it's worth money? So I bought it off of for $500. Number one Google organic in my market. And I also promised him a whole bunch of photo shoots, right? So future pacing, hey buds, give me a great deal and I'll get you all these listings, right? And I did. I gave him a bunch of listings. Yeah. Of course, right? Reciprocity. Sure. And so anyways, so I got into his website, Preston, and I got in the back end. He had this website for 10 years. Number one organic in my market. You know how many leads he generated in 10 years or without forced registration? It was like 100. It was like 100. It was like 10 a year. And no wonder he thought it was worthless. So I take that website, I change out the IDX, I was worried about losing my SEO rankings. I generated 330 leads first month. Right? First month. And I don't know.
That's a good story, dude. You are stoked. That's a good story.
I went into, that was the year I went into Wenatchee. See, I was brand new to Wenatchee. I sold 0 homes in Wenatchee that year. The year before, 0 homes. I didn't even live there. That year I sold 101 off of lead traffic at that traffic game. But we're talking top foot. What's that?
How do you spell Wenatchee?
Wenatchee. Wenatchee.
Yeah,
Everything,
dude.
everything in the Northwest has a because there's like the Native American like kind of
Yeah.
some Amish, Seattle. It's
I'm
all
just thinking a person that's trying to type that domain in.
yeah, Wenatchee. They know it.
They high intent. They have high intent.
High intent. Yeah, if they don't misspell that, they know what they're looking for.
High intent.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about
Yeah.
that. What's the difference between intention and unintention? Is there a different quality of lead based on that distraction, disruptive versus intention? Because Preston's all about Google pay-per-click, which is intention based, right? Can you explain that? Suneet, what's your take? Speak up. What's your take?
I mean, go ahead, Preston. I want to hear what you say.
What
Really?
you got 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, as far as pay-per-click, I mean, there's definitely, it depends on the keywords they research as well, like how they come in, right? And you talk about the person that can spell Wenatchee correct, but there's certain places in your market where those leads come from. And depending on where they are, they're just searching Myrtle Beach real estate, which is very just kind of, everybody searches that at first, or they search Aner real estate, Aner, South Carolina, and nobody knows where Aner is unless you have been here. So
if you type that in, you are looking for something.
Yeah, somebody that lives there for sure. So, when you look at, and you talk about long tail keywords, right? Long tail keywords are the ones that they might have 100 search volume a month, but you got to mix those in. A lot of times they're more expensive, but with long tail keywords, there's higher intent. You know what I mean? And when you're looking at building out pages for SEO, look at long tail keywords and build out pages around that. Because, if you rank on the first page for 200 long tail keywords on 200 pages, and there's only maybe 100, the search volume's 100 on each keyword a month, but, times 200 and say they click on your, 10 times per page. I mean, that's a lot of traffic. So when you're, a lot of times people go for those vanity keywords. We're like, oh, I want to show up for this keyword in this city. And they're spending so much more money than, say, if they were focused on long tail keywords that not everybody's going after. But when you talk about pay-per-click, though, and I could really go on forever.
I'm talking about intention. You're going down your SEO rabbit hole again.
Yeah.
But
I'm just
I
saying,
find this interesting.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the intention, it depends on what keywords they're searching, depending on, their intention, right? Are they just grabbing are they just searching Myrtle Beach real estate, just gathering information? Or are they searching the longer tail keywords? Are they searching for, school districts?
So how does your agent differentiate that so that they can, or do you train to that so they have to they can tell the difference of the lead and then talk to them differently? Or you just go in blunt, same script, same intro, same attack, same
not really. I mean, it depends on it. So we pay attention to the way the leads come in. So all the campaigns are labeled to whatever campaign it is. And so if we see one campaign performing better than other, for one, it doesn't go to agents. Like, we're not going to send it to agents until their appointments are set and ready to go. So it goes to inside sales agents. And we pay attention to those campaigns that the lead comes from. And then, obviously if it's organic, we treat those totally different. So it'll come in and it'll show organic, Google organic or Bing organic or whatever it is. So the intent on those are a lot different. And now then we have the leads that we send out to get the home valuation. Those are totally different intent. We only have one ISA that calls those because those people have already opted in, and now they're putting in their home address to find out what their home valuation is. Now, for us, winter market, a majority of those are from out of town, right? So they're giving us a home valuation in Sacramento or somewhere. We're referring them out, but they're also looking on our site as a buyer. So we look at it as a super strong buyer lead. So our head ISA calls those leads, and they answer about 80% of the time, which is.
Say that again. They answer what 80% of the time?
They answer the phone about 70 to 80% of the time when we call those numbers.
The organic dude who put that shit in.
The organic within what time frame?
I mean, we're calling them within 5 minutes if they come in, because, they have intention. Then you wait 30 minutes, you're going to be interrupting them from whatever they're doing later. You know what I mean? So usually when somebody registers, when somebody inquires, that intention at that point of time,
Yeah, that's a big difference.
it's
Yeah,
very high.
it's the difference between them having a showing request or a information request, right?
Yeah,
How do you?
and you could wait 30 minutes and they might be having their kid's birthday party, and all of a sudden you're interrupting them. You know what I mean? You call them 30
Yeah.
minutes later, and it's the intent is a lot different. You know, especially now you think of, you know, the world that we live in. I mean, if you text somebody, you pretty much expect a text back or a response back pretty quickly. And if not, you're just, maybe we don't mean to be trained that way, but we are. We're like, well, why the hell aren't they texting me back? You know, why aren't they getting back to me? I know they saw my message or whatever. So, and it's that same way with people searching online. I mean, how many different websites on average they register on? About 8 to 10 different websites.
Is that what it is? Minimum. How many different saved search emails are they getting?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, save search. Suneet, so what's your game plan on initial attack, lead assignment? How do you do
Sure,
lead
so,
assignment? How do you handle the top funnel lead that comes in?
Do you know what's so interesting? Just as I hear Preston talk, and I hear you, Nick, you guys are both smart. I've been at it way longer than I have, so I appreciate the insights I've learned, and I've gotten better because of hanging out with guys like you throughout my career. So now, before you let it go to your head, I still sold more homes to both you guys, but
how's this year going?
Not so well, but yeah, but I was like, I came in and I bought some PPC, just bludgeoning my way through. Like, I got to call these leads, bought some Zillow, and I got hooked up with Realtor.com from like one of the senior VPs randomly early. Dude just called me and just opened up the floodgates. And then I started hanging out with Robert Slack a bunch and all these other guys and learning like their processes, trying to emulate those. And hey, it really freaking worked, right? So I was always portal first. And I think
because those leads have more intent inherently.
Yeah.
They come to you with,
dude. Yeah, I mean,
they want you to take action.
Yes. I mean, those are, we're talking about funnel, but as far as getting those leads, that was always my thing. And then it's only grown now, right? To where, big partnerships with Zillow and still deep with Realtor.com. And just now, within the last couple of years, even considering really spending any energy on PPC. I mean, because we get so much organic stuff from our advertising, people opting in, sign calls, all this, right? So we get a lot of those leads too, which is a different kind of organic, but still organic, isn't it? Just now spending energy on SEO. So the thing that I always thought was important, because I already had the hot leads, was that routing and like the system around that. So now everything goes to an ISA.
Yep.
100% goes to an ISA. And we have a weighted system that I bought from one of our colleagues that looks at all the agents, where the appointment is set, what pod, what price range, what specialty. Maybe it's a Spanish listing lead, right? And it goes through the agent roster and presents to them in a sequential manner, pretty much automated. And then it puts everybody at a capacity. And then like for us now, I know this sounds shitty for people that are listening and watching, like the appointments aren't a problem, right? So like the booking appointments is not the problem. The problem is everything after we can book it. Would I want more appointments? Sure. But I mean, we said like 500 a month. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right?
So
I mean,
you got to focus on that.
Yeah. So like everything else for me is I really train the agents on what do you say at that first appointment? Like if we don't have 3 meetings about that per week, then we're screwing up.
Right? The appointment. So you're focused on that appointment experience. and the agent's initial conversation and email and handoff and showing or
I mean, our met rate stays, our 30-day met rate is like 67%, which I'm all good with on that first appointment.
I talked to a Redfin agent one time. She was down in the Bend, Oregon area. She worked for Redfin for a long time.
I love this story. Everyone who's listening,
you remember this story?
I freaking trained to what you're about to say. So yes,
really?
Go ahead.
I don't know, Preston. Have you heard the Redfin story?
I have not.
Okay, let me know your feedback on it. So she was moving up to my area, so I was interviewing her to be an agent. She actually did. She didn't end up moving here, so I didn't hire her as an agent. But I was like, dang, this is an opportunity to get some intel on Redfin because Seattle's like 2 hours away from me, right? That's Redfin headquarters. That's Mecca, right? That's capital.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Seattle. So she was a showing agent for Redfin. So that's all she did. She just showed homes. And I said, how much do you get paid? She gets paid $40 per home. She got showed $40 per home. She said this, however, she said on the third home, I get $40 and a $70 bonus on the third home. I said, why would Redfin incentivize you to get to 3 homes? Right. And Redfin tracks everything. And she said, what Redfin figured out was if a buyer looked at 3 homes with a Redfin agent, they had a 90% likelihood of closing with a Redfin agent. It was like the inflection point of working with you is 3 homes. So that was like they were incentivizing the behavior they wanted to see. So as a showing agent, she's like, I'm doing whatever possible. I don't care what I'm showing them. I might show them like a crappy home or a big home. It doesn't matter. I just need more time with them, more relationship with them. And I thought that was really interesting when it comes to the appointment. Is that 3 homes?
Ever since you told me that, dude, I've been just reminding my agents every damn day, get them booked for 3 homes. In fact, as you say that, I'm like, when's the last time I said it? Like, I need to put it in Slack right now.
Well, we're not talking top funnel, but I learned that.
I'm going to say it this week.
I think Chris Lindahl had a script. He's up in Minneapolis, right?
Minneapolis, yep.
This was years ago on Zillow Leads, and it was something along the lines of like, okay, great. You want to look at this home today. Awesome. We're going to show you that home and handpick you 2 others. And they're like, which ones? I don't know. But when I meet with you, make sure you have time to look at 3.
Yeah.
Right. Because the agents needed more time with the new client. Now, what happened the last couple of years with the pandemic, inventory has been so low, you didn't even have 3 to show them. But I think the opportunity is going to be huge. But we were going to talk top funnel. Anything else you guys want to add?
We're way off. I mean, here's the thing for top funnel. Is like, let me just, give people some like really easy free tips. I even made a Facebook post about it earlier, right? It's like every piece of advertising that you do, marketing that you do, make sure that phone number, like I've been using call action since like my 2nd day as a realtor. Whatever you use to capture that data and feed it into your CRM, just use it. I've been using call action. I get a bunch of leads for doing 0 every day. Open house signs, t-shirts, friggin' pens, friggin' notepads, like every piece of mail, everything. Get your personal phone number off of whatever, get it in your CRM, you'll make more money.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
so that's just really easy top of funnel.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we talked about was the last episode before that, how important that, one of the things I think each of us, we wish we did a better job was keeping up with all of those leads that we got, when we first started. Like if I had all of the leads that I've brought on over the years, like when I sold out of the previous company, I gave up 250,000 leads.
Who?
Leaving that company. So, you know what I mean? So
like negotiated that exit.
Yeah. So it's, when you think about that, I mean, like Suneet just said, just make sure you have like advertising just to advertise without any kind of call to action to get them to do something makes 0 sense.
Well, a lot of team leaders, we know it. They just break out their credit card without any plan. Now, final, we got Preston has a birthday party. We're filming this on a Sunday. Final words, Preston, on lead funnel or top of funnel.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is just, whatever you do, stay consistent. Like I see people, whether they're doing pay-per-click or whether they're doing whatever, whenever you look at those lead sources and they're truly top of funnel, they're not going to buy in a week. You're not going to buy in 2 weeks. Probably not going to buy in 2 months or 4 months. So, you got to think about it's just getting started when they're coming in top of funnel. So you better have a good system in place to bring them further down that funnel, because if you don't, most likely you have no chance of converting them. That's why I tell people, like, focus on building out what that conversion looks like before you start generating a ton of leads, because then you're just going to waste money and you're going to say the leads suck. 3 months later, you quit. And that's what happens far too often, is most people just don't have the patience for it. And they don't want to build what that conversion funnel looks like, what that cadence looks like, what those email newsletters look like, what those phone calls look like, what those text messages look like. That's really what you got to focus on. Bringing in the leads top of funnel is easy. That's the easy part.
Yeah, top funnel. And you can have relationships with portals and buy different lower funnel leads, right? And then you got a mixture of leads. Suneet, final thoughts on top funnel leads?
Just generate a ton of them. I just put it on Facebook. Go to a friggin' Facebook group, everyone in your neighborhood, and put a landing page up. Just start getting people information in your CRM, right? Like, you can generate so many. I literally wrote a post about it this morning. Like, just be consistent. Start with free. Start with free and consistent. Load it up. Figure out the system. I'm trying to find the link. I have my whole little follow-up cadence manual published out there in the internet world. I don't know what the link is. Maybe it's on my Instagram link tree, totally free. But there's how I follow up, and my ISAs follow up the leads. So to support what Preston says.
Yeah, if you find that, we'll put it in the show notes if you find that.
Okay. It's probably Cheps to need something. Like, where is it?
Right. Yeah, I would say, for me, the top of funnel stuff is, one is define what a lead is to you. And then when you know what that lead is, for me, the lead needs to know who I am and what we are and what we offer them, what they get, what's the compelling offer we can give them. And we lead with that. So whatever lead comes in, the plan is offer something of value, whether that's homes, back to the website, some compelling offer, and establish that relationship as a primacy that, we're a company that is going to give you some value. We're not a company that's just going to call you over and over and over again, seeing when you're ready, right? So be really intentional with making some compelling offer that differentiates and adds value to their process with no obligation ever to move forward. That way I get permission, Preston, and Suneet to go 180 days with them, because I know they're not going to buy, but I want to establish, okay, let me stop looking at the other 8 websites. I want to get them off I call it the Zillow. I can't say it on the air, but I get them off the Zillow. In Seattle's right around the corner. I just assume they're on Redfin and Zillow. So how do I get them? How do I get them into my ecosystem?
Yeah, and one thing I would like to say too, Nick, is there's so much focus on speed to lead, like speed to lead, speed to lead, speed to lead. Focus on speed to relationship. Speed to relationship, speed to build a quality relationship instead of speed to lead all the time. Because speed to lead, hey, what type of house you looking for? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? You don't know shit about them. How about speed to relationship?
Yeah, speed to lead doesn't mean it's speed to close.
No,
it doesn't make the close faster. It makes it closer. You got closer opportunity to get a relationship. But people screw it up thinking that, they answered. I got them.
Yeah. Let's go down here and find. Yeah, it's just so speed to building a relationship. So the quicker you can get that done, the more chance you have of converting them down the road.
For a while there, we stopped tracking phone calls. We started tracking quality conversations, and then we had to define what a quality conversation was.
Yeah, you change that. You change that focus. You change that focus. Like the ISAs, don't make them focus on 150 phone calls, 120 phone calls. Make them focus on the conversations, because if what I need to hit every day is just an amount of phone calls, what am I going to focus on? I'm going to focus on the phone calls.
The wrong KPI. Yeah. Tony Robbins said that shit, right?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, actually. I mean, because instead of looking at number of phone calls, look at how many minutes were they on the phone.
Yes.
Top time. Always. Yeah.
Talk time.
I mean, you can do phone calls too, but that's not the metric,
Sure.
right? The metric should be, getting paid for closing a deal.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the one I
Give
track.
it,
But
yes.
so real quick, I just found it, and it's not AI-poweredagent.com because we already have that one. It's Suneet.leadconversion.com. I just found it. The first time I looked at it, it looks pretty cool. It's purple and orange. So Suneet.leadconversion.com has my free manual. Just download it.
We'll put it in the notes as well. So anything we talk about that way, just make sure we throw it in the notes, make it easy to find.
Well, here's the outro, you guys. Thanks to everyone for listening in. This episode number 5, lead conversion, top funnel. We got to go through the entire funnel with everybody. And we also promised to talk about my rental portfolio and my investment strategies. If you like this podcast and you want to motivate us, let us know. Go to Apple Podcast, give us a 5-star review. We haven't talked about that. Let's get 5-star reviews. Leave a comment. Go to Spotify, same thing. If you're on Spotify, wherever you're at, give us a 5-star review so we start populating higher. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel where we're posting actual videos. So if you listen to us as a podcast, check out the YouTube channel, subscribe there. We're trying to get to the 1,000. Any other plugs you guys want to make in terms of listening to our content, subscribing?
I mean, here's the thing, we're doing this because we like talking to each other about this stuff, and hopefully it's providing some kind of value to anybody listening or watching. And some people like to watch because different experience. I myself like to listen to it at the gym because that's when I can get stuff done as far as listening to stuff. But hopefully, if you do like something, let us know, please, because we want to give you more content that you like, and send it to somebody who you think would get something out of it.
Yeah,
I share podcasts all the time. In fact, with these two dudes, I share them because there's good learning for people in all parts.
Yeah, we're human beings. We need feedback.
And it's like Suneet said, it's the best thing to do for cardio. I listen to Audible books when I run. I listen to Audible books. I listen to podcasts. It's a lot better than blasting music in your ears. You're actually getting something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Get that bubble gum out her ears. If you want to grow, whether that means make more money, or whatever it is, build more legacy, get that bubble gum out of your ears, at least during the week.
Yeah, let's get it. Well, thanks guys for this. And we'll be working on our big project and also podcast number 6 soon.
Yes.
Episode 6
I'll text
coming
you in 2 minutes.
See ya.
Okay.
Yeah.